Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 41 of Direwolf 20's Let's Play series. I'm just teaching my wood golem a new trick here. I'm making sure that he doesn't bother trying to pick up random items that might be floating on the ground out there. So when monsters die outside or something happens, he doesn't go wandering off trying to pick up something that I really don't care about him picking up. So really we just want this wood golem that we set up last episode to pick up ender pearls and ender lily seeds. It's rare that you'll get an ender lily seed from the plants, but it does happen occasionally, and we want to make sure to get them because they're pretty rare and useful to have on hand. Today's episode, there's quite a few things I want to kind of get done. One of the first things I want to snag probably is an ender chest, and I'm going to replace this iron chest right here with the ender chest. It's about time I do that. It's something I typically do. I always want my import chest to kind of be a ender chest, if you will, because it gives me a lot of options. First off, it means that I can get myself an ender pouch. Hooray! I just need some leather. Oh man, I have no leather, do I? Let's see. Zombie flesh. I think I can snag some zombie flesh, courtesy of Botania. Yoink. That's not Botania, that's Botania. So let's see, what do we got here? This guy is set to accepting mana from items. Dun 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 dun. Can I now get myself some... There we go, leather. Sweet. I should get my cow farm back up and running, but courtesy of the alchemy catalyst, you can convert zombie flesh to leather, so that makes things a little bit easier for us. It's a nice little trick. So there we go. I get myself an ender pouch. If this were a different color code, so for example I wanted some kind of different colors, I usually in my single player just use the default white as my input chest, and the ender pouch, as you can see when I open it, also opens the ender chest. So anything I want to auto sort into my sorting system, just place in the ender chest and it'll automatically wind up in there. For example, if I throw my wand in the ender pouch, you'll notice it automatically gets pulled out of the ender chest, and my wand should now be in the AE system. Nice. So a nice little quality of life thing there. I might make another ender pouch. In fact, why don't I do that? Yeah, let's get some more zombie flesh. And pop over to my Botania area and get myself just a few more pieces of leather. And let's go with blue. That's easy, just because it is. So let's make ourselves another ender pouch. And I'm going to set this one to blue. The best way to do it is either to craft the ender pouch with like the right color wool, or if you set an ender chest you have in the world, you can shift right click with the ender pouch to get it changed. Now I don't want this ender pouch to be blue. I want to keep him white, so let's switch it back. But now I have a white ender chest that matches with my AE sorting system, and the blue one I'm going to use to store stuff that I don't always need to have on my character, but that is useful to have at times. So, you know, pretty much all this stuff that I've been kind of carrying around for a while. And if there's anything in here that I might like to have, it should be cool to have that. I don't think I'm going to really need my sacrificial orb much anymore. Horn of the Wild would definitely be nice to have. The Lexica Botania, sure, my bow, my equal trade wand focus. I don't think I need any of this stuff too much anymore. I'll hang on to my crescent hammer, chisel, and screwdriver. That's probably not a bad idea. And for now, that's enough. Unfortunately, you don't have a ton of space in here, so you have to be a little bit picky about what you put in it, and there's no good way to upgrade these to be able to store more. So it is what it is, you know. We might come up with a better storage item later, but for now, this should work. Cool. So those are just some of the nice little quality of life improvements I'd like to have, so I set that up. How's this area doing? Not too shabby. We've got a good handful of reinforced slates, courtesy of me hanging out here for a while and killing zombies. I've been letting my zombie spawner thing run, and we've been doing some good stuff in there. I wouldn't mind having some kind of automation built around this area, and I think that's what I'd like to work on this episode, is getting this altar upgraded to tier 4 so that I can get a better automated way of dealing with this. I'm tired of having to come here in between episodes and kill zombies. So we're going to automate this thing, at least a bit. We'll automate it some now, we'll automate it a little bit more later, and by the end we'll have pretty much an unlimited supply of life essence that we can use so that we can kind of leave our ender pearl farm that we made last episode on all the time. Right now, I've had to keep it turned off. And while I'm at it, I might get to it this episode. I would like to simplify this sugarcane farm. So I think I might get to that this episode if I can. We shall see. Oh, see, look, here's a perfect example, right? If I wasn't in my base, I could just drop my rotten flesh, get rid of it. Don't need to hang on to it. So yeah, that's kind of what encouraged this, is as I was standing here killing stuff, I was like collecting so much junk and I had to keep running back and dumping it in the chest. And I'm like, all right, time to make the ender chest sorting system. Definitely worthwhile. All right, let me kill a few more zombies here, and I will come back in a minute to check out how we can automate this. I think it's time to get a ritual of binding. All right, guys, so it's time to do another ritual. So let's set one up. We're going to get everything we need to do this. We're going to want to have 24 ritual stones. So this is clearly a more advanced ritual than we had before. And we're also going to want the Magician's Blood Orb. There we go. That'll get us going with everything we need. Cool. So Master Ritual Stone plus the 24 ritual stones will get us what we need. Now I'm trying to configure and figure out how I want to do this. Do I want an area where I set up rituals, or do I just kind of want to, you know, have a little spot that I, you know, build them and take them down as needed? It's a tough call. I haven't really figured out what I want to do yet with that. So I think for now, we could just kind of choose this area, maybe over here by our sheep farm. That might not be a terrible idea. This isn't a particularly large area, but at least for now, it'll work for what we want to do. So let's dig out a little bit of an area and just kind of map how we want to have this ritual laid out. Like I said, there's no good way to figure out how the rituals get laid out unless you go look on the forum post that Way of Time has. So your best bet is to do that, and I think that's 1, 2, 3 out from, you know, the Master Ritual Stone for this particular one that I'm doing. And 1, 2, 3, I think that's right. And then we want one here, here, and here. And if I'm right, it should start placing them. Beautiful, that's mostly right. I'm missing something somewhere. There we go. Oh, I see. Yeah, it wants one more here. Make sure to have all the stuff there, and then we can just build out our ritual stones from the rest, and that, my friends, is the ritual of binding. As you can see, it wound up using 24 ritual stones. Now, the way this ritual works is you can infuse some regular generic items with a lot of mystical and cool powers. Typically, it's going to give you the bound version of items, and if you look in here, you'll find that the main ones that you can get are the blade, the pickaxe, the axe, and the shovel. They all have different neat abilities that you can play with. The armor that you can get is not, you know, done through the ritual of binding, I don't think. I think there's another way to go about getting those, or I might be wrong. I don't know. The armor, there's a couple different types of armor from blood magic, I think. So, but the main thing you want to go with to get started working towards tier 4 is a bound sword. Now, in order to get your bound sword, the first thing you need is a diamond sword. Then you're going to need a sufficient amount of LP in your soul network to activate the ritual of binding. So let's go see what's involved there. So right now I've got about 97,000 LP. Not too shabby. It doesn't look like it's draining, so my ritual of the grove is clearly off. Keep in mind it does use a little bit of LP when you use the ritual diviner here, so that's going to drain some LP for you. Let's go ahead and activate the ritual with the ritual stone, and you'll notice that it used about 5,000, so not a terrible amount. And you can see it is now ready to receive the diamond sword to give you the bound version of the sword. So just drop a diamond sword in the middle there, and a bunch of lightning occurs. And once the ritual of binding is complete, you'll notice that you got yourself the bound blade. Now, when you have it in your hand the first time you get it, first thing you want to do, as usual, right-click to bind it to yourself. You'll see the current owner is now Direwolf20. Perfect. Shift right-click activates the blade, but in doing so, just having the blade active and in your inventory will slowly drain a small amount of LP. Looks like it drained about 50 there, and it's, you know, every few seconds, maybe every 5 seconds, 50 LP, so not a large amount, clearly. But, you know, don't want to waste it, so turn it off when you're not using it, and it will no longer drain LP from you. So that's kind of a good thing. what we can do with this is run around and kill things. That's pretty much the plan. By killing monsters with the bound blade, you have a chance to get weak blood shards, these things. You can also craft them once you have them by combining an imbued plate with a master blood orb, but we'll get to that later. That's more of a higher tier thing. For now, the best way to get it is run around, kill monsters using this nifty sword right here. So let's go downstairs actually for a moment, because I have put something in motion that I hope will be helpful. So let's put our shovel away. We don't need him at the moment. And check out what's going on over here. You'll notice that last episode I automated it so that books can be placed in the auto enchanter here, and it'll just start, enchanting them at level 30. That's the enchant level I wanted to set them to. The reason I'm doing this right now, aside from having, more use for those blocks that I want to get, is now I am able to get a whole bunch of cool books. And what I want to see in particular is looting. That's what I'm looking for. So fire protection, fire protection, aqua affinity, unbreaking. I've gotten a lot. Not entirely sure what wrecking does. I have to figure out what that even does. But we got luck of the sea. I mean, that's kind of nice, I guess. But no looting yet. So we're going to have to kind of wait. Looting will definitely help your blade to, ensure that you get more drops. Now let's see. Is it even close to daytime or nighttime yet? No, the sun is it's noon, so I don't want to wait. We're going to come over here and just empty hand right click, boom. Remember that uses just a few LP. Not too bad, right? 5,000. It's not such a big number when you have 100,000 anymore, right? But it's nighttime and I can go hunting and killing monsters. So let's see if we can find ourselves some bad guys to kill. I'm going to clear out my inventory a little bit so that we can collect any drops we get. Now, of course, I could have gone over and, oh boy, I'm getting lots of saplings walking past my tree farm. Hello, monsters. Do you exist? Anybody? Anywhere? Hello? I could have just turned on my, mob spawn over there, but I figured this was a little bit more of an exciting way to go out and adventure and hopefully get what we want to get. Now, one other thing you can do is what happens is when you hit the monster, they get a debuff, and if you kill them with another method, it's fine as long as they have that debuff on when you kill them. So that's a good way to do it too. So we don't necessarily need the looting effect on our sword. So I've got my first weak blood orb. That's kind of a good sign. Do be careful, by the way, if you enchant your bound sword in such a way that it can one-shot things, you're not going to get the blood shards because the thing will die before the before the debuff gets placed on them, and it's really the debuff that's giving you the weak blood shard, not the fact that it died by way of the sword. So clearly monsters are not a fan of spawning in my world right now, even though, they always seem to spawn when I don't want them to, but that's okay. We will, there we go, there's one. Sweet. So I'm going to just run around out here for a few minutes, killing some zombies, collecting a few blood shards, and when either the sun rises or I have enough of them, we will be back to complete what our designs are. Come on, any more before I wrap up the segment? Nah, probably not. One more kill. Let's see if we get lucky. Yay, I got a second one. Nice. All right, we'll be back. Alright guys, let's do this. So the first thing I did is crafted a bunch of more runes of sacrifice. The other thing we want to do is grab some smooth stone and some of those weak blood shards that we got. One of those will bring us 32 large bloodstone bricks, so a very nice amount. We really only need 4 for now, but you can use them for decorative builds if you want. And upgrading to a tier 4 altar, relatively easily. First, just replace the capstones here that I've got already designed with the large bloodstone brick. So as you can tell, it is a requirement to get those weak blood shards in order to get a tier 4 altar. Okay, is this thing on at the moment? It is. Let me turn it off. Not that it needs to be off, but there's probably just a ton of zombies there. Cool. So there we go. We got the 4 of those. That's not all, though. Of course, we do need to have some more runes. So you can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runes that can be placed along this path. There we go. And I'm just going to take out a few of these guys while I'm here. That should get that thing cooking again. And, you're going to have to do that 4 times, of course. So you need 20, yeah, let's see. What was it, 7 times 4, 28 in total. I think I might actually be shy 1, but that's okay. go. And let me snag one of these, I think is all I'll need to craft the one more rune of sacrifice. Yeah, the one downside to this is that it doesn't place the blood orb in there for you. I don't know why. It just decides I don't feel like doing that. There we go. The one thing I am a little bit shy on was the amount of runes of sacrifice, but I had a few blood runes just hanging around in my AE system, so I went ahead and decided I'll just use these last 5 here. And this should now be a tier 4 altar. Oh joy, look at that. Boom. Done and done. So let's get ourselves just a few more things here. You can see I'm just going to continue working towards getting this. And what we want next is to upgrade our Ritual Diviner to a new version of the Ritual Diviner that can handle tier 4 rituals. So we're going to need some elemental inscription tools for Dusk, 2 of those, and 2 demonic slates, which are 15,000 LP, plus an imbued slate. So let's get ourselves a few imbued slates here. So where's my imbued slate filter? There we go. We're going to swap this out with that. And this item filter I think was always designed to be a blank slate, so I'll just make sure he's ready to go when we need him. So this will go ahead and make some imbued slates for us, which should be nice. And pretty soon we'll be able to do some automation around this altar that should make things a lot more enjoyable for us. So I'll let a couple of those imbued slates come out, and then I'm going to disable the automation thing. In order to get the elemental inscription tools for Dusk, it's just 2,000 LP with a block of coal. So while these guys are doing their thing, I want to turn this back on for now. Probably kill 2 more of these guys, and that'll get me pretty full. I've kind of gotten the hang of how many guys to kill in order to get this thing upgraded, but since we just added more runes of sacrifice, I think it's going to be even more efficient than it was before. Nice. I would like to get coal. Times 2. And pop into here. So we've got 1 imbued slate. What I'm going to do is remove this, and if there's any smooth stone in here, get that out as well. Let's get these things taken care of. 1 and 2. And now, since we're going to need 15,000 LP, 2 options, of course. I could put some orbs, or not orbs, rune of augmented capacities. That requires imbued slates. Let's actually do that. I wouldn't mind having a slightly more augmented capacity, at least for now. So yeah, let me get a couple more of these imbued slates. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That sounds like a good number. And then I just need some empty buckets, and that should be easy to do the rest. So I'll be back in a minute once I've gotten those. Alright, let's get these runes inserted here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've got the runes of augmented capacity ready to go. Cool. Might make 2 more just to make that side even, but it really doesn't matter too much. We can now store 20,000 LP in the tank. Nice. So as you can see, you get about 2,000 LP per rune. So not a bad number there. We can now get ourselves what we need a lot easier. Cool. Alright, I'll be back in a minute after we've processed a few more of these things that we need. And you know what I'll do is while I'm waiting is get another item filter so that we can prepare to make or automatically create demonic slates. Let's get an item filter here. Let's just make a new one. I'll leave that one as is in case I ever wanted to use it again. And that should be enough. I just need 2. Let's get this automation stuff out of here for the time being. Excellent. 20,000 LP capacity, pretty nice. Alright, let's clean this up. We will snag these guys. Ready to do this. I just want to make sure we have 15,000 when we start, and that'll help. There we go. All right, I want to remove this filter. Let's put, for now, the blank slate filter in. 15,000 still? Yes, go. And I can probably turn off my zombie spawner, because I hear a lot of them up there. And almost there. Nice. All right. How's that look? 15,000. Perfect. While I'm here, I can get this new item filter. And we are in good shape, guys. I'm going to want some more imbued slates, I think. Well, reinforced slates, right? Yeah, reinforced slates is what I'm going to want, because I want to set up a new ritual now. So let's do that and that. That should have put this guy in here. We've got the reinforced slate now, and I can go ahead and put these guys back in here. That should work. I'm going to go sleep through the night and craft up the upgraded ritual thingy. So this, and these two, right? Nope. Did it sideways again. There we go. Ritual Diviner, capable of using Dusk Runes. Nice. Alright, we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, for the time being, I've gone ahead and turned on the lights because it's time to upgrade this room a little bit. In fact, we're actually going to just downgrade it basically into a basic and simple room. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. There we go. All cleaned up. Done and done. The other thing I'm going to want to do after taking care of this guy is clean out this. We don't need this little pillar thing anymore because we're no longer going to be letting mobs drop down. We might hang on to the sound muffler. That might not be a terrible idea. Do I have? Okay. And we'll wind up basically having these guys spawn in here and stay in here and automatically get slowly but surely killed by the ritual that we're about to create. So let's take care of this stuff real fast. No longer really needed. Cool. And we can probably put away some of the junk we don't need. Cool. So monsters no longer need to be pushed into a center area. They no longer have to worry about much of anything. What we do want to have is a ritual whose job it is to automatically kill these guys and, you know, do stuff. So let's see. First things first. You are below half, so that's why you're no longer moving things in. Let's get ourselves a few more ritual stones, and what I'm actually going to do is dismantle our binding ritual for now because, you know, I will very soon have a much larger supply of everything I need from blood magic because we're going to be automating the ritual right now, and it'll be easier to get ritual stones after this, so no sense in waiting. I'm just going to go ahead and use these ritual stones, get this thing automated, and then we can always rebuild the ritual binding as needed. So let's run back over to here. And I'm thinking we're going to want this to be 1-2 blocks up. And I just want to make sure. So let me come back here in a minute. I also want to craft a few more ritual stones. So we'll put you here and you there. That should be good. And I'll be back in a minute after I confirm that my spacing and everything that I come up with here is correct. Okay, so the ritual that we're about to do is the Well of Suffering, and I do need to rebind this to myself, and let's see, Well of Suffering. There it is. Cool. You can see I've already started summoning some zombies in here. I want to make sure, and I'll even, you know, that's enough for now. Maybe I should throw the sound muffler in there. Might not be a terrible idea. Trying to decide where I want it to be. This might not be a bad spot for it. There we go. Much better, right? So those guys are ready. We will now get ready to activate the ritual. So one block above on the y-axis and one block below is how much space we need for this. And I believe it should reach 5 blocks down to fill any altar it finds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that's the 5th one. So let's start activating this thing and see if I'm right. And if I have to move it, I have to move it. But I think this will be ideal for us. So here goes nothing. Dun, 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 dun. I should have just a few blocks left over. Perfect. That actually looks quite good, except for the fact that, all right, there's a block here that's in my way. That should be easily moved. For now, let's just wrench this thing. And we can reconnect it, like, right through here. There we go. And now, like I expected 4 blocks left over, and I think that's what I'm going to have. Perfect. Now to activate it requires a lot of LP. Luckily, I should have plenty. 76,000 LP is what I have. 50,000 LP is what's required to activate this ritual. Let's turn it on right now and see if we start getting more LP in our altar. So we've got 96,089 or 9,689. A rush of energy flows through. You can see it used 50,000 LP. These guys should now be taking damage, and that damage will be translated into, you guessed it, LP for the altar. So as you can see, the altar is now running all by itself. I don't have to do anything. Nice. So I can turn off the lights in there. I can activate the zombie spawner. The more monsters in the room at the time that it ticks, the more LP it's going to generate for us, which is kind of a good thing. And we should start having lots and lots and lots of LP generation. And as needed, we can go ahead and toss our Magician's Blood Orb in there so that we can start regenerating some LP for ourselves. So if I wanted to, I could remove this. And I want to come up with a better automation solution for the creation of these reinforced slates and such. But we'll have to check that out probably a little bit later, because that's going to be a pretty large build. So as you can see, our altar is filling up. Every time it ticks some damage to these guys, it's doing some good stuff. Now, it is going to drop items that are going to need to be collected. We'll work on that in just a bit. But as you can see, the altar is filling up. Nice. And of course, the zombies will eventually get killed, but more will spawn, not to worry, and start making more and more LP. So I'm going to throw my blood orb in there so that I can have lots of LP in my soul network. And we'll come back in a few minutes. I'm just going to let this thing run for a bit, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, looks like we've got a lot of LP coming in here. And my resonant energy cell, it is draining at the moment, but it's probably refilling an energy cell over here. I should mention to you guys that I did go ahead off camera in between episodes, go ahead and upgrade the remaining 3 compression dynamos that I have, so you can see that they all have upgrades. Enderman sneaking in to check out what's going on. Not a good sign. Come on, Enderman. Just trying to do some stuff here. You notice I didn't go to the end for Ender Pearls. Notice, Enderman, that I made an Ender Pearl farm without, any killing of Endermen, just putting that out there. Anyway, all my compression dynamos have now been upgraded with, the best of the best. We've got top tiers on all those guys. I didn't do the lava generator one. They're just still, standard base functionality. Maybe we'll add it later, but we really are doing a pretty good job with power gen right now. Even with the carts going back and forth, we're basically generating more power than our quarry and our mob spawner are using, so we don't have to worry too much about power gen at this time. I can, because my ritual is running and I have my orb in the altar, turn back on the Ender Pearl farm. Nice. Have we collected any Ender Pearls throughout this entire episode? Not a one. That's because these things, even though they're on these, Enderly platform things, which I should make the remaining 3 of now that I've got probably a lot of books that I can get. Wow, look at that. Blast protection, potency, efficiency, power, all kinds of stuff. Withering, that's cool. Unbreaking repair 2, that's a nice one to have. Efficiency 4, sharpness, knockback, really not the greatest turnout, especially because I didn't get what I wanted, but that's okay. I don't really need it too badly right now. So let's snag some things that we're probably not going to be too worried about losing. Disarming 1 we can get rid of. Luck of the Sea I'll hang on to for the 3, but not 2. Punch. Power I want to stick with 4, but not 3. I don't need power 3. I don't need power 3. Unbreaking, I'll hang on to some of those. Efficiency I'll hang on to as well, but not 3 because I have 4 already. cool. Knockback, I don't usually like knockback, but I'll hang on to it. Bane of Arthropods, who wants that? That's like the worst enchant there is, right? Sharpness 3, I have a lot of books, but I'm going to hang on to them. Withering, Aqua Affinity, might as well hang on to. Blast Protection 4, Feather Falling 4, we've got plenty of these, so I'm not going to worry about them. And Fire Protection, I'll just snag a couple of, and leave a couple of them. And then just Protection 3. I think I had Protection 4 already, right? So, oh well, that's fine. Let's get some more of that enchanted wood. I believe what we're looking for is this stuff. Don't know why I can't shift click that stuff. Maybe because the books won't go in there, but the bookshelf and then the gold. Oh yeah, look at that. All these good enchants are getting us lots of magical wood. That's cool. Nice. And now I should be able to get the ender cores. Ender core being, we're going to want 3 sets of these, right? So we're going to want 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and this. Beautiful. We go downstairs now, maybe because our ritual's been on for a while, we've gotten an ender pearl or 2. Yeah, nice. Excuse me, guys, you need to get out of the way a little bit for a minute here. Nice. And they already picked up this thing for me. So there we go. We're getting ender pearls. That is cool. So that little design there should generate a lot of ender pearls for me, and at some point I'll just set this thing up to import. But I like to, before I really, finish a build, I'm curious to see how many of these get generated. So I want to come back here after a while and see how many ender pearls we have, and it'll be nice to compare that versus any ender pearls that we got as a result of killing mobs, which is where I just got 4 of them apparently from killing a enderman that was sneaking into my base. So how's this thing doing? We should actually have more LP than we had before. So notice that we're actually generating more LP right now than we're using for that ritual. So our ender pearl farm is completely able to run all the time, and we'll have a net gain of LP. For now, I think it's unfortunately wrapping up point for the episode. So that completes the ender pearl farm. Now that we've got an assured infinite LP amount, as long as we leave our blood orb in there, we should be in good shape. And we can have lots of ender pearls now that allow us to expand a lot further. There's definitely a lot more that I'd like to get accomplished, so we're going to continue along our path. We might want to come up with a better mining solution soon, because the mine thing that we have going on is a little bit slow. I would like to continue along the path with Botania, some more Thaumcraft stuff, and there's even mods we haven't even touched yet that we still need to get into. For now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.